Hello, this is Laurel, or Rel with the Dabbling Hook, and this is going to be just a quick demonstration of starting your foundation row after you do the rib brim with the linked double crochet. So, to start off with, you need something to first anchor onto. So you're going to chain 2, and in the second stitch or second chain from the hook, so which would be this one right here, you're going to pull up a loop, insert, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then you are going to go in your first location where you would normally put your first double crochet and pull up a loop. So when most people start the foundation row on this type of brim, they would go in a space, like here, or wherever is easiest for them, which is fine. I take a little extra time and find somewhere where I can pull up at least, or go under at least two loops of yarn. So I like to go right in between here, instead of going, oh, and I carry this so I semi-weave it in as I go. But instead of just going into the space here, I like to go in between here so I have 2 loops on the hook. Oops. Pull up a loop, and now you're situated as if you're going to do a regular double crochet. So you would just yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and whenever you do the linked double crochet, you end up with a horizontal bar across, and it'll be more noticeable as we go along. So for the next one, again, I just don't find any space. I like to go through this little bump here, so I'll show you in a second. So to do the next one, you go through the horizontal loop, and you never you never yarn over as you normally would with a double crochet. So you go through that horizontal bar, yarn over, and pull up a loop. Okay, so you're effectively linking it to this last one that's made. And then you go to where you would do your second one. So I go through this bump and right behind it, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through it, and then you complete your double crochet. So now you have 2 of them linked. Again, the horizontal bar, you go through it, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then you go to the next location, insert, yarn over, pull up a loop, and complete your double crochet. So you can see that horizontal bar that I mentioned before going across. So you would just continue. Always start by going through the horizontal bar, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then go to your next space where you would normally do your double crochet, pull through the loop, and complete. So one thing you will end up with this way, you'll end up with that horizontal bar. It almost looks like Tunisian all the way around. You will have that on that first row. The reason I like this method, I should have mentioned in the beginning, is that when you do a normal just double crochet, you get more gaps in between. Let me see if I can find an example of that. Hang on one second. Okay. So, oh, and my setup here is a little dodgy, so if I bump anything, my apologies. So this is what it looks like with that row, if you can see it, all the way around. Okay. I'm trying to find one where I did just the regular double crochet, and with the regular double crochet, when you do that, you end up with more gaps here. And while that's all fine, you know, that's what we typically do, it's always bugged me, so I prefer this method. It makes it just a little bit trickier when you do your next round, depending on what you're doing. In this case, it'll be a front post stitch, so you have to strategically find a place to insert your hook when you're doing the front post, but we'll get to that. Okay, so you continue all the way around, and I'll do it one more time. You go under that horizontal bar, yarn over and pull up a loop. You find your next location, pull up the loop, and then you complete your double crochet. So I'll trim this later, and then I will meet you when we are all the way around. Okay, so we're nearing the end. Got a couple more to do. Horizontal bar, pull up a loop, and then this is my last one. So the reason I wanted to come back is normally you would just join, slip stitch to join, and you can still do that, but you do end up with a bit of a hole there. Now if that's not a problem for you, I think it's going to be in the back of the head. Honestly, if I was doing it just for me, I would leave it at that. But there are not a whole lot of tutorials on how to close up the linked in the round. And the one I found was by, I forget what her first name is, but her last name is Pionk, I think. But anyway, hers seemed to work a little better than the other, I think, 1 or 2 videos that I found. So after you do your last one, what you would do, you would insert under the bar again, okay, and under that first bar, go underneath it, through it, pull through like that, and then you slip stitch through everything remaining on the hook. Now it does form what looks like another stitch, but just think of that when you normally do a slip stitch, you have kind of that fake stitch there. So that's the slip stitch, not your last one. That's the only thing to remember. So I'll do that again. When you're done, you go under the horizontal bar, and directly under the horizontal bar of that first one that you did, pull through, and then you do your slip stitch through all the loops remaining, so you don't have that big gap that you saw there. And I said it was a little tricky, since if you were just doing regular double crochets, you would just go into the normal stitch, but this is going to be a front post, back post. You could go under this way, but I find that it makes it a little bulky for me, and then you do end up kind of losing half of these. They don't show up if you do that. So what I do is I go under the top part of it. Now you have to kind of figure out where to go, whatever is easiest. The front post, and then the back post you go. So you're just going, oops, I'm getting caught. So in doing that, you get to see the horizontal bar. If you go under the lower portion, only one of them, the front, when you do the front post, it'll get hidden. The back post, you'll still probably see it. But that's the way I choose to go. Front post around the top, and then the back post. Alright, so that is doing the linked double crochet to eliminate, and I'm not sure if I finished my thought earlier, but it eliminates the gap that you get when you just do just a regular double crochet. You can see these gaps here. So the link eliminates that. Preference, you can totally do just the standard double crochet, or you can try a hand at the linked. I prefer the link, but personal preference. All right, I hope that helps, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.